And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of DeathStryke Media's Force Friday show. It's Friday. We're talking Star Wars. And guess what? We've got Sean with us today. We're out of James, so it's just the Sean and James show. Sean, how you doing?
Better than I deserve. And you, sir?
I'm doing just fine. I got poked by the vampire twice, which means I gave blood and I got a flu shot. So that's good.
Oh, good. Yeah. One was a giver and one was a taker.
Yeah, exactly. One of the taker took like 5 vials of blood.
Wow.
Yeah. You got to give some up every now and again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's called playing hockey, I heard.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess instead of pouring out of the face, it's just coming out of the vein.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
That's pretty close. It's pretty close. But no, I've been good. I've been very good. So it's been been busy at work as usual.
Busy at work. Same here. Survived the Halloween weekend.
Oh, yeah, we did too. We went trick or treating and it was fantastic. Emery was Lord Vader and I was a not Sith. I was just a dark Jedi because I can't identify with the Sith. They're just too angsty.
I don't know if angsty would be my description of
Well,
him. But,
Kylo Ren anyway.
He's not a Sith.
Not yet.
They keep saying he's not a
Sith.
Sith.
Not a Sith. That's right.
Not a Sith. Even the Sith are going, no, we don't want him.
He's not ours.
He's not ours. You can have him. You can have him.
Exactly. Well, welcome everybody. This is the Force Friday show, like I said, and for all those who are returning patrons, thank you so much. For all those new people who just happen to randomly select us on YouTube to watch, thank you. How this show usually works, we have some Star Wars topics, we got 5 or so, and we simply run them down and talk about them and have some fun along the way. We're going to jump right into the newest of the news. We have a new TV spot for The Last Jedi that came out during the World Series, which was a great audience because it was the last game of the series. Go Astros. You won it for the first time. Oh. So that's good. You know, just times change. But they had this amazing TV spot, about 45 seconds long. Right. It had a bunch of new old stuff from some of the previous trailers, but it also had some new footage. They're starting to piece the plot together for us bit by bit, and in this particular one we had one incredible scene that two incredible scenes, but one I really love, which is Luke on the Millennium Falcon for the first time since let's see, was he in the Falcon in Return of the Jedi? No, because that was Lando. That was Lando. So it's Empire, I guess.
I think Empire was the last time he was on as far as we know.
Yeah,
movie wise, the last time he was on the Falcon.
No, I had him in A New Hope because he took his X-wing the rest of the time.
But they picked him up.
That's right. They picked him up from Bespin. Yeah, that's right.
Thing,
that's right. Yeah. We'll get into that in the story later on. But yes, no, you're absolutely right. I totally spaced on that. But yes, it's been since Empire Strikes Back since Luke has been on the Falcon, or so we think. So, or at least on film, right?
Right.
So we have Luke. We have old man Grumpy Luke on the Falcon, looking around. Lights come on. I was like, oh my god! Sean, what'd you think about this?
It was the memory scene. It was like when Han, got on board and said the now famous.
line, Chewie, we're home.
Chewie, we're home. I kind of had that feeling, the whole.
Yeah, it's like they did it. They brought it back.
Yes,
this is the Star Wars that we wanted.
Just waited how many years, dude? Just how many years?
When did Return of the Jedi come out? 1980.
So long ago.
Yeah. Before I was born.
Don't bring that up, man. Don't bring that up. I saw it in the theater. Don't bring that up.
Yeah, well.
So.
In all fairness, I did too, but it was the re-release.
It was a re-release, yeah. But no, it was really cool and kind of odd.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really buy into the grumpy man Luke, but then again, I'm a grumpy older man now, so.
You got like matching beards. You got like a beard bromance thing with Luke right now.
Yeah, that's kind of. I'm going to tell my wife that's why I can't shave it. It's for the show.
It's for the show. And it's for Luke. It's for Luke.
Ironically, we had a really lame Halloween, and I should have went as Grumpy Man Luke.
Yeah, you should have. I
just got to stick and hit people when they came up to.
You pulled the Yoda. Mine.
Steal the candy or something.
That would have been horribly epic, but really funny to watch on video.
Yeah, especially as the cops take you down.
It would be even funny if you actually dressed up very loosely as Yoda, but had a like really bad green paint. You're like this tall guy with the ears. Mine. They don't know whether to call the cops or call CPS or call the Austin State Hospital. We have no idea.
Get the butterfly net.
Love to see that, but yeah, no, it was. It's a great trailer, but I interrupted you for that little story, though.
No, it was a fantastic trailer. Also seeing, Finn.
We saw Finn in the ski speeder. Yeah, that was cool. I didn't know he was going to be on the Battle Crate.
And the Falcon reappearing.
Yeah, out of the planet.
I mean, okay, if you want to need to make an entrance,
You need the Falcon, and you need to wreck a planet.
And it apparently loses its disc or its communications
Again.
Again.
Well, he's already replaced it once. What's another one?
Yeah, I've been rewinding and watching that.
It's a hunk of junk, right? So, or as Ray puts it, garbage.
Garbage.
Yeah. We got
respect.
Leia as a hunk of junk, and then you have Ray as garbage.
The thing is, I always wondered is
it's never new, apparently.
to put it in like real world terms, is the Millennium Falcon a van or an El Camino?
I would probably put it as a van, like a not a minivan, not like a van transport van, but like the 80s, 70s vans where it was
Conversion van?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too, but then again, the El Camino is such a cool thing.
Yeah, but I think the Falcon hits the layer or the vibe of it's like the van from Archer, where the doctor's van.
Yeah.
Or forget the guy's name now, but yeah.
Rape Me van?
Yeah, exactly, but cooler, right?
But cooler,
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah.
Hopefully.
It has its inspection, okay?
It has its inspection.
So yeah, no, I seeing that come out of the planet. How about Snoke's throne room?
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
I was watching a lot of detailed stuff about that. The supposedly his life support apparatus
Yep,
is there.
saw that too.
His Proterian guard were there.
All 9. I counted 9.
I got up to 7. I wasn't sure, but
I think there's one hiding or two hiding behind stuff.
yeah,
I think I could see their
didn't count
feet.
them because I didn't know if that was a reflection or if that was just a shadow effect or something. Because it was just one frame.
Yeah, it's been alluded to, like his throne, his room is red like a vampire, where he sucks the energy from the Force. That's how he lives and regenerates. And they're kind of like playing that up a little bit, because I do think very vampire of that room. It's got a pitch black floor with red, very very like what vampire movie would I call it?
I'm thinking Francis Ford because
maybe yeah.
Because you look at the blood red armor that Dracula wore in the intro versus the Proterian guard. That blood chrome kind of color.
Yeah, I went to Interview with the Vampire, completely different.
Oh, I was terrified of that suit of armor. I saw Dracula and I was like, ugh.
That's a very good point.
Yeah,
as long as it's not like Dracula 2000 throne room. I mean, that'd be kind of as much as that movie is cool. There's some inappropriate parts that we're not going to discuss on the show, but it was a very fun movie if you looked at it from a non-vampire point of view.
Yeah, vampire.
At least they weren't sparkling. Okay, I got to give it that.
Sparkling.
I got to give it.
Spider monkeys around.
Yeah, whichever. Either way, it's pretty terrible. But yeah, so we got Finn on ski speeders. We have Luke on the Falcon, and we had the throne room, and we had some new shots of Leia, which I thought was very interesting. I think they're playing that up a little bit, kind of how they did in the first major trailer, not from Celebration, but the one that just happened recently. I don't think the Finn or the Kylo firing his TIE fighter at the ship with Leia, I don't think that's the same scene.
Well, they're doing a lot of bait and switching.
Yeah.
They really are keeping secrets and doing a bait and switch and I would cite the long scene of her standing there at the console. And,
I think that's probably on crate and not necessarily on a ship.
Yeah, it's you don't have context.
Yeah,
that's what I'm citing. Is this is purely bait and switch territory?
That's a good bait and switch.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong; it's very well edited.
I mean, they got to keep hype going and everything.
They got to keep shows like us talking about it. So they got to keep it up interesting. And they got to keep it fresh.
It's just I think people are arguing more about the editing than it is what's the actual story.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's very, very soon, guys. Very,
very soon. We have 6 weeks, maybe. I think
6 weeks. Yeah.
December 15th. We're on the 2nd of November. So yeah, 6 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait. I have my tickets.
Yeah, I know you have.
Do you have your tickets yet?
I don't do openings.
I know you don't. I'll be there.
I will stand outside.
I'll make a mini movie of it.
Tell you what, I will stand outside and actually get footage for us of people outside.
I'm gonna do that on Thursday. I think our buddy Charles is gonna go dressed up because he obviously is going. It's his business, but he's going part of the 501st. And I'm going to go as a Jedi, part of the Rebel Legion, and we're going to do a photo op, but I'm going to film the whole thing of everybody in line as well. Like, I'm going to make a mini movie on opening night. Although mine's opening night on Friday, it comes out like on a Wednesday, so or Wednesday night at midnight or something. But
still, maybe I'll bring out the camera and get so you don't have to hold the cameras all the time.
Yeah, no, dual footage is always good.
Dual footage, all right.
Yeah, dual footage good. It's going to be at the Lakeline Alamo.
Lakeline Alamo.
Lakeline Alamo.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. So it has a lot of room to move around in.
Yeah, it's bigger than the old one.
So hey, if you guys are not doing anything and you want to go see some really cool costumes for The Last Jedi, or you just have tickets for the Alamo, we'll be there. Just come check us out.
Come by, have a beer, hang out.
Yeah, I'll be drinking. You see a Jedi drink, or someone from the Empire drink.
No death sticks, but
no
beer.
No death sticks. But we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the next sort of big news TV spot trailer thing. Right before this, we had the international trailer drop 2 days ago, which I thought was interesting. You get the international trailer, and then you got this brand new TV spot. But the international trailer showed a lot of the same footage that we've seen. It had a few little tidbits of here and there, like reshot, different angles from the same shot. Nothing too revealing, but the most revealing part, I thought was the most revealing part anyway, was the new poster. The new poster comes out, and it looks fantastic. It looks very much like a typical Star Wars poster from like the 70s and 80s. But instead of, Vader over everything, it has Luke, or has Rey, and then on the side where Rey usually is, it's Luke holding Anakin's lightsaber ignited.
Right.
Why do you think they did that?
Because it's actually part of the story. There's been a lot of leaks. I take leaks with
leaks, spoilers.
Spoilers and all that. But for the longest time, they were talking about Luke having his green lightsaber.
Yeah.
Was the old leak story, because people with super telephoto lenses,
zoomed way in.
Were saying that he saw him practicing with what looked to be a lightsaber with a green rod.
Right.
But the thing is, that could be green screen technology, so that doesn't even tell you what color the lightsaber.
It could be mapping.
That was, they're saying, oh, he has his old green lightsaber. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Looking at this poster.
Yeah, maybe he's beyond the lightsaber. Maybe he's like, no, I can now ignite yours from far away. I don't need one.
The thing is, the storyline has always been that Luke continued to grow in power.
Yeah.
And the fact that we saw Kylo Ren stop a blaster bolt, which I thought was like one of the most fantastic scenes.
It had the only thing similar we really saw was Vader deflecting a bolt from Han.
Right.
So that's interesting. When we first saw Kylo Ren freeze that blaster bolt in there, you're right. Chasing power. Maybe we're having this new era of Jedi Sith, dark side users.
More power coming back.
Yeah, more. Since there's less of them, they can harness more of it.
That's one of the that's a great theory. And I think it's rather interesting if you think it kind of like builds into the argument we need to have fewer Force users.
Yeah.
Why? Because that makes me more powerful.
That's right. I can use more of the Force. I'm not here going, well, here's my 116th share of the Force. No. And of course, you have those stronger Force users like, say, Yoda and stuff like that who took more of it, who could use different parts of it in better ways. But I do like that theory of there's less of them.
And maybe that's why it's more powerful.
And they're chasing more, they're digging deeper into the old Republic Jedis who were more powerful, who could catch the lightsabers. Again, this is all expanded universe stuff and all legends, but the old Jedis could catch lightsabers in their hands as part of whatever training they were doing. Mm-hmm. So if they're digging that deep into it and bringing that forward, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I saw on Clone Wars where Ezra and Kanan were like battling Vader. I go back and watch old clips. It's how I entertain myself.
Clone Wars is before that. You're thinking Rebels or thinking Clone Wars?
Rebels.
Okay, Rebels.
Sorry,
okay.
Rebels. Sorry, gotta mix up. But
that's okay.
Where they drop like an AT-AT walker on him.
Yeah.
And he's like, eh.
Yeah, Ezra was like, gadunk. Whereas when we see Luke at first, he's like having to use his little harpoon to get up there and throw a grenade.
Right.
It's like he didn't just throw it a walk around someone. Granted, it was an ATST, but still, those ain't small.
Right. It's the thing is, and it would fit the storyline of like New Hope and Empire. That as the years have gone on, more access to the Force is coming to Luke growing stronger.
Yeah.
Of course, this is all theory, guys. Now, it's a really fun theory.
Well, it's like Palpatine. He grew beyond the lightsaber unless he absolutely had to have one.
Right.
He was manipulating through the Force, manipulating people through the Force and through actions and, using mind tricks and stuff like that to get what he wanted in his ways. And versus, obviously Force lightning, right?
Obviously, just bringing that up.
But at the same time, if Luke is taking that route, but in sort of the I'm going to destroy everything or take over the galaxy thing, it's like maybe he is beyond the lightsaber and is only going to use it when, say, he can't use like a mind trick on somebody,
right?
To whatever. So
I just always loved the idea of Luke or a powerful Force user being able just to pick up. It was like you're sitting there. I'm coming to kill you. Really? You're coming to kill me? And there's this Buick hovering over your.
as soon as you said Buick, I got like Army Darkness stuck in my head.
It's like a Buick just drops down on him.
Where'd that come from? From Sam Raimi's set.
Yeah.
I love it. That's fantastic. No, that would be, or just like have like a random like TIE fighter fall on him or something obviously related to Star Wars.
On a planet with rocks and islands is like, oh yeah, you're here to hurt me.
And there's gonna be this big giant sea monster of some sort. Let's not forget about that. Maybe just pick that up and drop him on somebody.
Oh, here, squid.
Exactly.
More squid for you.
We call this Cthulhu, by the way. crossing genres now.
It's a new thing that I learned from the kids. Yeah.
Exactly. No, getting back to Luke with his daddy's lightsaber, I think it's interesting. I honestly do like the way you're thinking of it is a plot point throughout the movie because obviously they wouldn't bring it back in such a way in Force Awakens to not use it.
Right.
So maybe that's one of only 2 lightsabers in the galaxy now. You have Kylo's and you have
really,
this one.
Yeah, what one is it? That really a lightsaber kind of thing?
Oh, it is. I mean,
sword,
yeah, exactly.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
But it's also the fact that the rule of all cinematography and writing is that when you put a gun on a table, that gun's going to get used in the movie.
Yeah, and that is like a plot point.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that you had Rey with the Force vision when she touches it, it's so iconic. You can't get away. You can't have a film and not use this thing.
That's very true. We've seen it all the way through the prequels, and we had it in New Hope, and then we had it briefly in Empire, and then now we had it in Force Awakens, and now we obviously see it in Last Jedi. I think this is the longest running film series for one particular lightsaber.
Yeah, considering how Anakin used to lose lightsabers
left and right. Yeah. But he always made them the same though. Like he never like experimented with designs. Like if you look at his lightsaber when he was Vader versus when he was Anakin, they're very similar.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the prop at the time, but that's just I like the carryover from. I'm using the lightsaber design from the light side, but I liked it so much I'm going to use it as a dark side, but I'm going to tweak it a little to make the Emperor happy.
Yeah, it's either that or he was doing it to kind of like, you know.
Connect back to it or something?
Either that or only good guys carry a lightsaber like that. Yeah, well, I'm rubbing the good guys' faces in it.
There you go. No, that's a fair point. But yeah, no, lightsabers with legacy, I guess.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to save that one.
But that's such an iconic thing with all the visions and all that. It has to be, I feel that it's going to be a big turning point thing.
I think so too. I honestly do. I almost see Kylo Ren end up with it in the long run, and maybe that's the trigger to bring him back to the light. That using his grandfather's original lightsaber when he was a Jedi,
right?
Versus finding all the Sith holocrons and being immersed in the dark side. You now have this very powerful artifact that's steeped in good. Maybe that'll be his tipping point. I'm not saying he's redeemable. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that could be a tipping point for him.
Well, I have a whole issue of how they define redeemable. With the four. Just go. I know I've commented before.
It's like going to Catholic church. You say a few Hail Marys and you're good to go.
Yeah, but I also think I know enough about some theology.
Hail Marys. I don't know.
That some things are not forgivable.
I do too. Like murdering children, not forgivable.
Can't walk that one back.
You can't walk that one back.
Still on that point. Moving on. So, big news is that Han Solo redone.
Yeah.
Sheer amount of reshoots.
Yeah. So, with Ron Howard announcing that the Han Solo shoot is done, formerly known as Red Cup, now called Solo: A Star Wars Story, which was old news last week. It's old news. It's old news.
It works. The kids will love it.
Kids will love exactly. We went 1 week without having any Han Solo news, but this is the big one that dropped. Yeah, 80% of the movie, at least 80% of the movie, was reshot in the 4 months after Ron Howard took over from Lord Miller. How did he accomplish that? What did he change? And do you think we'll see anything of Lord Miller's stuff that they shot in the upcoming movie?
Maybe the trailer. That's what's left.
Yes, that's right. Because it is typical for a trailer to be made by a company who just makes trailers. Right. They don't send it to Disney and have their guys work on it. They send it to another department or another studio to cut the trailer. Mm-hmm. That's their sole job in life, is to cut trailers. Now, if they had already stuff sent in from Lord Miller that they actually really liked and that they maybe weren't going to use in the movie, but it was a good scene anyway, and it does tell the story that that Ron Howard's going to tell, sure, they can use that. But will we, the audience, be able to tell what they shot versus what Ron Howard shot? I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is with the sheer amount that they're quoting here is 80% of the movie is being reshot.
Yeah,
you got to wonder if it's going to be just opening like I said, credits.
Yeah,
what's really left after 80%. And the thing is, you imagine those work days.
And speaking of work days, not only did they extend the shoot time 4 extra months, they had to cut a couple of at least one actor out of it who originally shot with Lord Miller. They doubled their production budget for being going that long. Yeah. So not only do they have to, I don't even know what the production budget was. It's probably somewhere in the 100 million, 200 million price point.
200 million.
So they got to at least marketing and they probably got to make 750 million, ballpark it, to make even. But with properties like this, you're going to assume it's going to at least hit that over the international box office and domestic box office. Now, will it be like a smash hit? I don't know. Like, if I see it, I'm like, it was okay. I'm probably not going to go back to see it again.
Yeah, but it's also the fact that,
I saw Rogue One like 3 times in the theaters. I'd love that movie.
Yeah, but that is a very special movie. I don't know. This is a huge amount of money, and the 80% reshoot.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it sound like, Lord and Miller were like doing like a slapstick comedy.
That's kind of what I mean, I know everyone's saying that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was the overall case. I just think they added a lot more comedic elements to the movie that maybe Disney and Kathleen Kennedy didn't want.
It's just it's just a large number.
It is a lot, 80%.
Here, 50% of a movie being reshot, like with Gone with the Wind, they did a lot of reshoots on that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things they couldn't reshoot, like the burning, of Savannah.
You kind of can't reshoot that.
But our Cleopatra, the budget for Cleopatra is on the same scale that they're doing. They're like doubling, the sheer cost for reshoots.
I agree.
It's just, to me, kind of mind-boggling knowing what I know about, the movie industry that have 80% reshot. That's just slap in the face.
It is a slap in the face. I'm okay with them doing that if the movie's good. Now, if they use 80% of this recut or refilming 80% of this movie, and it sucks, not that I'm saying it's going to, but if it's terrible, then what the hell were they doing? Like, why put all this money into something when you're going to make a mediocre product?
Well, it's hard for me to say that Ron Howard's ever made a mediocre product. Now, I know there are going to be people that would count,
Sure, that's
some of his
every
his
film is
projects.
subjective,
But it's really hard for me to say that any of this is going to be mediocre. I would probably say though, I'd be sweating bullets.
Oh yeah, I would.
This is as a director, I was called in at the last minute to save the day. Yeah, a lot's riding on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he's sweating bullets. I know probably Kathleen Kennedy's sweating bullets. I'm sure the story group was freaking out half the time, going, "Oh my God, what are these guys doing? What's Ron Howard doing to my story?" It's got to be. I'd imagine not only did they replace Ron Howard on the front of the stage. I know he's behind the camera, but he's public, so he's in front of the stage, in my opinion. But I'm sure there's a lot of people on the editing side and the PR side that they had to replace too, because you have to spin this a certain way. I know he did a great job on Twitter and Instagram with those pictures, and that's very similar to what George Lucas used to do with the Making Star Wars website back in the day. So that was a really good thing, keeping the fans involved. But there's got to be more to it than we're gonna we shot 80% of the movie. Why? Like what?
Why? There's something going on that we don't know.
Yeah.
My question is what was really going on the set before those two guys were fired?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, was this okay? Anything I say from this point may be smeared people's names, so I'm being cautious.
Yeah.
It just makes you wonder what was really going on, and maybe they kind of went, we're in over our heads, and let's just like flub this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, we really wanted to do a Star Wars movie. It sounded like a great idea. Until we got here.
I just have an image of Kathleen Kennedy with like that whole Sith robe thing sitting.
She's Palpatine.
Yeah, you come into your.
I am the Senate.
Yeah, the thing is, you walk into your trailer after a hard day of shooting, and
Kathleen Kennedy's
just there, and you're like, oh boy, I didn't sign on for this. Oh yes, you did.
Oh yes, it's in your contract. 500 pages of it. No, it's. I don't want to call it a dumpster fire, but it was a dumpster fire.
It had to have been to be an 80% reshoot.
That's Superman? Awesome. Can you get down, please? Okay. All right. Okay.
Everybody's a critic.
Everybody's a critic. Exactly. So, but yeah, 80% of the movie gone. What's interesting about that, and I did point this out, is the original production budget doubling. And we did talk about that. It has to probably make $750 million to at least break even. Why would Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm dump more money into it? Like, were they so impressed with the new script? Were they so impressed with what Ron Howard can do and what the actual story of this Han Solo movie was going to be? That said, oh, here's another truckload of money. Have fun. Like, I don't know. That's
like I
weird.
said, back to sweating bullets. It may have been that they saw what the product was.
Yeah, maybe they thought it was salvageable.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And after Ron got in there, Mr. Howard, magical Mr. Howard got in there and went, actually, none of this can work in continuity.
Yeah.
Especially continuity.
Well, I know they had who's the co-writer on this one? It's he's part of like Star Wars royalty. I can't pull his name out, but is it really? That's cool.
Batman.
It's Batman?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you understood that. I didn't. I heard Batman.
I was just looking at the screen.
Okay. Lawrence Kasdan. It was Kasdan. Kasdan's one of the co-writers. I don't know if it's Lawrence Kasdan or his son, but they're co-writers. And if anyone knows Star Wars, it's them.
Yeah, inside
so
and out.
I'm guessing with the original script that the Kasdans wrote impressed Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm so much, and then they give it to Lord Miller like, you screwed it up. We're gonna hire this guy. And I'm sure when they were sitting in their dailies, she was like, "That's it. That's exactly what we wanted.
Keep going.
Keep going with it. Here's another truckload of money, and make it perfect." And I can almost guarantee that's exactly what they did.
I wholeheartedly agree because quite honestly, once again, I'm not trying to besmirch anyone's work.
No, not
it
at
just
all.
has a feeling of like they started shooting Han Solo as like Marceau. Strange, awkward silences with funny pratfalls.
Exactly.
Yeah, just
almost Buster Keaton-esque.
I can just imagine, like maybe, Madam Kennedy being like pleased with it and go, I'll take care of it. Let me make some phone calls. Just keep it coming.
Keep it going, man.
Just keep it coming.
Yeah, with Force Awakens making $1 billion, I think they got some to spare.
Yeah.
And Rogue One was up there as well. So
it's an easy argument.
Yeah.
You need to give me more money. Well, I've already given you a ton of money. Rogue One.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and remember how then Rogue One went through a massive reshoots.
Right.
And they had to pull a whole other director in to shoot the Vader scene that was a last minute addition, and
which was a brilliant.
That
addition.
was a brilliant ad. And I wouldn't say it saved the movie because the movie wasn't bad, but it definitely had that powerful hit at the end, tying in A New Hope that it was missing.
But it was also to see
Vader mowing down rebels.
Yeah.
And from all accounts, Vader's supposed to be in the Han Solo movie. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's the right age.
Yeah, we'll see. But I